When they finally write the real book on rock and roll, when all the dust settles and the truth is finally told, when they get it right, one of the bands at the top of the mountain, along with all of your David Bowies and Rolling Stones, will be Joy Division.
All right, so I've been downloading a bunch of fucking like late 70s and early 80s. Let's talk music here. I was watching something. What's his face there? The lead singer of, he was in Black Flag. Whoops, Jesus Christ. I didn't mean to say that. Black Flag. The fuck is his name there? He had a band. He had a band named after him. Ah, Jesus Christ. Dude, my brain is so fucking fried. I keep thinking Ronson, like Mark Ronson. I know it's not that. What the fuck is this goddamn... All right, now I gotta look this shit up. And don't fucking laugh at me, because I know I'm not the only one who does this shit. Black Flag, lead singer. Oh, this is why I can never be on Jeopardy, because even when I know the fucking answers, even when I know the goddamn answers. Henry Rollins, Jesus fucking Christ. So I saw this thing, Henry Rollins, right? And he was recommending these albums. Some of them I had, some of them I didn't. And so he recommended this band, Joy Division. And it's like, all right, I've heard of this band for fucking ever. I never took the time to get into them or any of that shit. If this guy's saying this is the real shit, he was saying their original album is as good as anything the Rolling Stones ever did and blah, 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 blah. So I went right to iTunes and promptly downloaded their second album by accident.
Their second and final full studio album, Closer, is also a masterpiece, but it's Unknown Pleasures that is going to grab you first.
I got to tell you, I love it. So I'm gonna go back. I kind of feel fucked up because I should have done it chronologically and seen the growth, even though they weren't around that long. Because unfortunately, the lead singer committed suicide. Barely 24 years old, but Jesus Christ, there's some fucking unbelievable bands that came out of Manchester in the late 70s and early 80s that was so goddamn different from everything else that was going on. Considering that first album that I haven't listened to yet, if it sounds anything like the second album, which came out in 79, to listen to that music and know that like popular music was like, at the time was like, I love the nightlife, I got to boogie on the disco ride. Oh yeah, right? I want to put on my boogie shoes. Hey, fucking lady, let's go create some herpes. That's what all those songs were. We're gonna stop fucking until you can die from this shit. Come on now, cocaine's not addictive. All right, sorry. Anyways, but you know what's funny? I like disco music too. I like the shit because I was too young to know that evidently everybody fucking hated it. And when I hear that shit, you know, I just,
oh, you can't tell by the way I fucking walk. I'm a little bad, no time to talk.
I just picture myself riding my bicycle up to the store to buy some football cards or baseball cards. I didn't know any better. I didn't realize that was the music of the man. I had no idea. YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. I thought all of that shit was like, I thought that was legit. No idea. Anyways, check out Joy Division. Download their first album, like Henry Rollins said. Don't fucking accidentally download the second one. And then defend disco, like I just did on my podcast. Okay? You don't have to. So I was listening to that, and then I was listening to, that led me to, remember Romeo Void, Never Say Never? I never knew what the woman looked like or anybody in the band. One of the coolest looking bands you're ever going to see. And then once again, way ahead of their fucking time. The video for Never Say Never is cool. It's like a fucking movie. And I know I used to watch MTV all the time. I barely remember them ever playing this. But I would say Romeo Void and Joy Division, both of them, me listening to them, really sitting down, listening to that shit for the first time in 2018, and the music still holds up. It doesn't feel like, what is some of the popular shit? I'll fight the world and melt with you. I'll stop the world and melt with you. You've seen the difference and it's getting better all the time. That's not a bad song either, right? Something, you can't objectively look at any music that was out when you were growing up. You know what I mean? Because there was like, oh man, I remember when this song came on. That's the first time I got hung on a doorknob by my underwear by the upperclassmen. You got all these great childhood fucking memories. I remember that. That's that time that fucking teacher locked me in the closet because he had to go do something. He didn't have time to like fucking, watch me during detention. Oh, I remember that. I remember that day. That was a day that fucking... All right, I don't want to get into all that shit. Anyways, check them out if you get a chance. I guess that was the point of all that. The point of all that was to check those people out if you have time. If you don't, I understand. Just keep listening to the shit you listen to. I kind of noticed that when I went to that Giants baseball game last week. Like, there was a couple of guys that came to the plate, and they would just listen to this. Remember that new metal and some of that horrific shit that came out in the early 2000s? When they tried to combine rap and metal? And then everybody would be up there playing instruments, and then there'd be that one white kid running around. You're like, oh, God, is he going to start rapping? Please, God, don't let him start rapping.
Cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort. Suffocation, no breathing. Don't give a fuck if I cut my arm bleeding.
That is the one amazing thing about that style of music. That was the one style of music that white people, as much as they tried, just could not steal it. I'm not saying that Eminem and some guys like that haven't been tremendous, but that is one. It was just, I don't know what it was. White people did their best. And then there was that whole and the music was so good that white kids got into it, and then they did, hey man, we ought to put that in our band. Ba-da-da, ba-da-da, yo. It just didn't work. It just didn't work. There was a lot of stuff from that time that just fucking didn't work. I remember slam poetry. Oh my God. Jesus Christ, that was just like... I just remember the person who would ever be doing it would always have their eyebrows up and be like pointing at you like what they were saying was just fucking unbelievable. Like just unbelievable. And it was like blowing your mind.
She was supposed to buy your shorty Tyco with your money. She went to the doctor, got lipo with your money. She walk around looking like Michael with your money. Shoulda got that insured Geico for your money.
And I would just be sitting there going like, that's kind of a very mainstream point of view that has been said about people in power for a long time. I guess I've never heard it rhymed before, so that makes it new. I don't know.
Tough to be down. Tell you what you gotta do now. Songs up and pants down. Dress up like a clown. Like a. Tell you what you gotta do now. Keep posing, 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 posing. What? Keep posing, 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 posing. Come on. Keep posing, 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 posing. Yeah. It's